Welcome back to Weekend Today. Our Aussie Golden Girls have had $1 million bounty placed on their heads for the Paris Olympics, which get underway in July next year. USA Swimming dramatically raising the stakes by offering their swimmers a cash incentive if they win all 7 swimming relays. Let's bring in today's talkers, Nationals leader David Littleproud and Triple M's Gus Wallen. Good morning to you both. David, I'll start with you. Firstly, our swimmers are amazing. The USA obviously needs to do this. It's no surprise, is it?
Yeah, look, this is just desperation. They're seeing that the Aussie girls in particular have led the world, and I think they'll continue to lead the world just the way that they've been carrying themselves. But the thing we've got to remember as Australians, we should also be proud of not just how they carry themselves in the pool, but outside. These young women in particular are great role models for young sports people, and particularly my favourite is Shun Jack. The adversity that young lady went through and is still there and is now world class and is going to beat the Americans just speaks volumes about why these young people are in there representing Australia. It's about Australia, our spirit, our adversity and rising against it. And if the Yanks have to pay to beat us, well, good luck to them. I think we'll do it without it, even though there are some incentives there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy task. They have to win the 3 relays in the men's, the 3 relays in the women's and the mixed one to scoop the jackpot. But Gus, isn't Olympic glory enough?
Yeah, you'd think so. And the chances of them doing all of that are pretty much minimal as it is. And secondly, I agree, you know, they're fantastic swimmers. And it's not just the 4 that swim in the final. You know, there's normally a couple of reserves that have given some of the bigger guns a bit of a rest to get through to the final as well. So, yeah, on and off the pool, in and out of the pool, they're fantastic. And the Yanks can do their best. But at the end of the day, I don't think we would ever need to do that. But the Yanks seem to have to do that just to get them to fire up.
We probably could pay ours a little bit more. I think
we could do that.
Underpay them.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another issue, though, because men appear to be shunning the teaching profession, with data showing that the number of new male teachers is significantly less than females. Gus, experts say this is due to a fear among men that they might be accused of inappropriate interactions between their students.
God, isn't that sad?
It is, but I kind of get it.
Yeah, I can understand that as well. I mean, my wife's been a teacher all her life, and she remembers when a young kid fell in front of her and she was able to pick them up and take them to the medical centre, put a bit of Savlon on, put the Band-Aid on and off you go. And sometimes you just need a cuddle, especially that first 20 or 30 seconds. Can't do that sort of stuff anymore. She came to Australia, did that at an Australian school, and they go, whoa, 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 don't touch them, don't give them a cuddle. So it's a real shame that we've got to that area. But, you know, what a shame that we're not having good young blokes wanting to be teachers. My son wanted to go into it, and in the end, the pass mark wasn't quite right for him. But it's sad that we don't have these young blokes able to have a crack, because when you remember a teacher, you really remember them for life.
You absolutely do. And speaking of being underpaid, I happen to think our teachers are as well.
Yeah.
David, how do we get more men interested in a career in teaching?
Yeah, this is a sad stigma of society that we've thrust upon young men. My father was a primary school teacher, and he still gets students from 30, 40 years ago came up and calling him sir. Yeah. You know, and he's proud to have been a teacher and the influence he's made on those lives. But I think as a society, we've got a big job to play in this, in actually raising the status of male teachers, but all teachers, but particularly men, because we do need those positive male role models in schools. And society has changed, but we can change with it, and I think it's important that we create that environment whereby young men want to put their hand up and are encouraged to come forward. And it's not always money, but money is part of the issue here. I think teachers, in essence, probably are under-rewarded for what important role they play in our society, but particularly young men. I think it's time as a society, and particularly when you've got a captive audience at school, our teaching fraternity should be trying to identify those young men in particular in there that could be great teachers, because they know better than anyone who would make a great teacher. But it's a long burn, and we've got to change that narrative as a society. Otherwise, our kids in the future will miss out. Yeah,
my dad was a teacher too, and I get people coming up to me to tell me what a great teacher he was. So they do really make a difference. On to another issue now. A man travelling from New Zealand to the UK with Emirates is now $12,500 richer because he sued the airline after complaining about his seat. Gus, he thought he was going to get a minibar, a flat bed, but it turns out he was flying on an older style aircraft.
Yeah, well, this is probably the ultimate first world problem, isn't it? I mean, Gee whiz, go back down the back, mate, in 56k and see how you go. Like, I can understand he's paid the right money and so forth, but surely there's bigger things to worry about in this world than having your bed completely flat, or whether you have to ask for a G&T rather than make one yourself.
David, you only fly in a flat plane, don't you?
Yeah, look, a dangerous topic for politicians to get into. All I can say is this guy's got too much time, too much money. He should try flying from Brisbane to Longreach on the old Qantas egg beater and see how his rear end feels at the end of that.
All those Dash 8s are
that's
bumpy,
real
aren't
flying. Yeah.
All right, Gus and David, thank you both for your time
Pleasure.
this morning. Over to you, Clint.